So there we go. I marked it out and I tweaked it a bit with a flat wheel and got it so that it fits in nice and straight and square. And once that hardens right up rock hard, then I'll go over it with some 80 paper on a DA, and then I'll put a skim coat of a Corvette panel adhesive, and I think it's Corvette panel. It could be sheet molded compound, same stuff basically. And then if I need to, I'll put a little Bondo on it for pinholes or whatever, and then I'll put some primer on it. There's some 80 paper here. I'm just going to spin over it once and then put another coat of Bondo on it. So that was the last coat of Bondo, and I went over it with 240, and now I'm going to shoot some high solids primer on it, mix up a little bit in the cup and shoot some primer on it. There we go, it's not leaking. Getting right. There, I'll just let that flash off and I'll give it another coat. So here we go, we're on top here of the shell. Here's the big opening, and we got this crack here and a piece missing. So I took this piece of plastic, it's actually aluminum on both sides and plastic in the middle, and I'm going to use this to make those hatches there. I got enough to do those three, so I'm going to put some hinges on it. But anyways, I got this clamped in place. I'm going to take the grinder and I'm going to grind this seam. And then I'm going to lay out some cloth over it and some resin. Here's a little trick. When you glue windows into a fiberglass skin with urethane, you put the screws, the holes, you put a wood screw through and you prop onto the fiberglass so it pulls it onto the window, and pulls the window onto the surface of the fiberglass, I should say. And you put it wherever you need it. See, now that urethane is cured. So now what I'm going to do for a safety and a lock is I'm going to clean this area all off with some acetone so it's nice and clean. And then I'm going to run a bead of bathroom silicone, nice big, cut the tip real big and put a big strip of it all the way around each window like that. So there we go, we got a frame for the top of the opening, all welded together on the inside. So now I just have to weld on the outside and then grind all the welds and then paint this black. So I'm gonna notch the wall here so that this part right here fits into this area here, and that goes up against the wall, that little bar. and then some fasteners will go through. And then there's a foot at the bottom. I'll put a bolt through the floor. And when you come up to the top, I got this piece welded on here, and it goes through. And then I have a piece of angle iron right here. I got it clamped there, but I'm just going to put a bolt right through there so that tightens all this in. Once that's all tightened in, this will be stiff. And then I'll weld that corner right there. And I'll weld that corner right there. And then it comes down the other side. And then it goes to the back. And then I just need to put another piece of angle iron along the back after I do a repair on that, finish up on that fiberglass repair right there, that crack. And there's another one right there. I'm just going to grind it off and put some panel adhesive on it. Make this nice and straight, and then weld the piece back there. Then I'll have an angle iron lip that's mounted on posts all the way around. I'm going to have 6 posts like this. And this is going to stiffen all this up once it's all tied in and bolted. It'll stiffen this all up and it won't be so flexy. And then I'll be able to put the tonneau cover on top of it. So this is the rubber that I'm talking about. So it's got like a little trough right there. This one here is too small. It's for a really thin pinch weld on a truck or something. But you can get it so there's thicker. There's a thicker grab right there. And it's like little burrs in there that grab the edge of the material. And then this is the little pillow that the doors are gonna rest against. So if I space out the hinge, I'll just get a perfect crush on it when the door closes, and then it'll act as, when it's like that or like that, whichever way, it'll act as a little eave trough and just run the water off and not leak inside. I'll put the seam at the bottom. So I've come to a conclusion that the frame that I put on the top of the trailer is 55 inches. And that one in the background there is exactly 55 inches. And it's actually going to sit up on the edge of the angle iron lip. So it's too narrow. But I have another one, and it's 8 foot, which is kind of nice because it's 99 inches long. And the opening is 119 inches long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close in 19 inches and put a piece across so I can put this hinge part on here onto the edge of the 19 inches, like about there. And then actually the opening for the top of the trailer will be much larger. So that's kind of a bonus. And this here is 70 inches wide, and the top of the trailer is 75 inches wide. So that'll sit down nicely on the trailer, and it'll actually fill the opening much better. And because this is way wider than the actual opening that's in the top of the trailer, the water will shed off and run down the side of the trailer when it rains. So that'll work good. I like that idea. We'll take this one. This is a good one. And it's got the spring-loaded shocks on the bottom of it already. So all I need to do is position them 55 inches wide, because that's how wide the frame is that I have on the trailer. And then just move them in a bit. I think they're about 57 now, so I have to move them in 2 inches, an inch on both sides, and refasten them onto the bottom of this cap. And then they'll function the same way they will when they were on the back of the truck, only it'll be on the top of the trailer. And the trailer, the topper will, or the tonneau cover will, see if I can get my hand in there. It'll be like this. like that. So it'll open nice. So here we go. I got this all in now, and it's bonded down with urethane. And I got all the clamps on it. I only need one clamp here because this fit really down really tight. So I'm happy with that. And this here fits down nice. It's a little bit of a low spot right there, but that don't matter. There's lots of urethane in there, so that'll bond that right on. And then as you see, I took some bathroom silicone just for insurance. I went around each window from the inside, so that even if the urethane that holds the window in themselves compromises, which never, at least it'll have like a backup. So it'll be sealed on the outside and the inside. So that's great. And I'm just throwing the idea around. This here is a black tank. This was this come from a Winnebago, and that's the toilet flange right there, and that's a black water tank. And then this here is a gray water tank, and that was where the kitchen sink went in, and that was where the bathroom sink, vanity sink went in. And this tank here has an opening on the side of it that you can open up, and you can drain into, like, you know, a receptacle, and then take it to a facility and, you know, get rid of your gray water and your black water. But it's kind of limited for space under this trailer. It's not that high like a frame on a Winnebago, so we'll see. Maybe not. We'll try. So these are the gizmos that make the top pop up on the back of the truck. And they're on with 5 fasteners. And this is too wide between those. But I'm thinking that if I put this one over there and that one over here, it would switch this point right here to be narrower. So I'm going to try that. So there we go. I switched that foot the other way, so that, well, from that way to this way, so that it narrows the path and fits in the 55 inches. And I cleaned them up with some with a grinder and wire wheel. Now I'm going to prime them and paint them. So there we go. They're all cleaned up and painted, ready to install when they're dry. So there we go. Just sitting there with the original hardware from the tonneau cover from the truck. It works a really nice height. I took the handle out of the front that locks it, and I'm going to put a piece of fiberglass over that and fix that opening. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That's going to be pretty good. Nice height. So now I need to, I'm going to notch this right here so that it goes over there, and I enable to put a little pin through there, and that's going to be the hinge. And then I'll put some kind of an eave trough right here, so that when the water comes and it runs down, it'll actually have drill a hole through here and a little hose that comes through here and drains it off from the top, actually. So yeah, so that'll work pretty good. And then that front lip right there, it's a little proud, so I'm going to run a piece of masking tape, pull it tight, and then cut on the line. And what's really nice about this top is the fact that this lip right here is like less than 1/8 of an inch, so it would receive a rubber real easy. So I'll pressure wash all this mold off here and topsoil, whatever's on there, clean all that up, and then I'll probably put some put some vinyl on this with some spray adhesive, make kind of like a headliner. And then there'd be a light go in here and maybe a fan, and who knows, I might even, a nice angle when it's kicked up like that. It might be the perfect angle to put a solar panel on it, because it tilts the solar panel up into the sun. So as long as you park that direction, then you can increase your wattage just because it's on a tilt. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. That's amazing, and it functions really well. Yeah, so that'll go down once I figure out where the bolts have to go. I'll figure all that out. Drill some holes in the rail right there where that one bolt hole goes, right there. There's a bolt hole. It's got to go through a bolt. So I'm just going to drill a hole in here at the right spot. And then when they open up, they'll pop that up 8 feet high. That's great, because that's good for like air and heat rising. And you put vents in the top here, you know, because that's so high, all the heat will rise, and if there's a cross current, it'll carry out, you know, any heat or burps or farts or smells or cooking or whatever. It'll all act like a chimney, create a Venturi effect. Heat rises and it'll all go out. So the kitchen will be like right here in front of this window most likely, so that I can either put a fan in it, or I can just have it so that it goes out a little window right here that you can just zip open and let the air flow. So we'll have to see how that works. So I got the pressure washer out today, and I gave it a bath. And I washed all the troughs out inside the windows. They're all full of flies and stuff like that, being used windows. Cleaned everything out really good. Give it a bath on the inside. Those two supports still have to go in. I'm gonna put some little spacers on the feet. And I got these ones in. A bolt drilled there. I pressure washed the bottom of the lid, had some black mold on it. Now it's nice and clean. It smells nice and fresh in here because I gave everything a shot with some bleach first and then pressure washed it. You got the arms all painted. Nothing functions really good. Pull down on it. I'm going to fill this hole in yet, but just pull down on it. And I'm like standing up in here and not even touching the roof. Like, you can actually, I'm 5'10". So this will be where the tent goes. It'll go between this rail right here and then whatever rail I put on the bottom, and then a tent will accordion inside there like a big angled slice of cheese all the way around. It'll be just that cheese shaped slice. And I put the fastener in the floor there, put 2 in the wall after I notched it, and then I put 1 fastener right there. So it really stiffens everything up when you get those brackets in there. So I'm really I'm happy with how things cleaned up inside too. I think I might give it a paint job. Put some white paint on the walls, you know, just to kind of brighten it up and make it all uniform one color. It'll look cleaner and brighter, and if somebody decides to buy it and they don't quite have the money to go ahead and finish the inside as yet, well, at least it'll be clean and they can use it for clean storage while it's sitting in the driveway, because it'll be nice on the outside painted white with a professional automotive finish, because that's what I've done for 35 years. And they can either use it for an office, they could even actually take it camping, throw a couple mattresses inside it and just have it as a flop trailer, and, you know, eat at restaurants and whatever, and just use this as a free hotel room. You know, it's like, I can't complain. I mean, I wouldn't mind this. You know, you just put your hand on the roof. And there she is, just popped open. Just like that. And you can come back three quarters of the way or more, and there's still there's still ceiling height here yet, and I'm all the way to the back of the thing here, and I'm still not touching the roof, you know, so it's like, that's pretty cool.